Good evening, everyone. We'll be picking up right where we left off, like a week and a half ago. I only took a little break from Bioshock. I was only a little addicted to another game. It's fine. Fine. It's fine. Everything's fine. I'm sure nothing bad has happened. There we go. What the hell? Alright, hold on. Graphics? Well, what the heck just happened? There we go. Don't want no windowed mode for me, sir. Where did we leave off? Oh, that's right. The Famous Market. The Famous Market. Oh, and Microsoft just bought Activision Blizzard. Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness. You know, I didn't know how much we needed Microsoft to own everything until Microsoft owned everything. And now I'm excited. I'm excited for what the future's going to hold. It's going to be amazing. It's going to be amazing in a way that I'm not even sure I know how to verbalize yet. It's going to be too crazy. It's going to be too amazing. Now, I do need hold up. Sonic Boom will be good. Boom! Boom! Oh my. Oh my. Let's run our way back over here.
Nobody touches me! Nobody!
Oh, okay. Oh my. Oh, she's dead. Or dying. Hold on, actually, let me think about this. Can I get a picture of them? Nope. Nope. Hold on, wait a minute. Wait. Audio. Let's turn the music up just a smidge. Oh my gosh. Audio's being a little bit weird on my side. Ah, that's why. That's why. It wasn't kicked in very well. It wasn't working very well. I guess I hit the button again. Ah, itch. Ah, itchy. This guy just called himself God. That doesn't seem very useful. Or not useful. That doesn't seem very sane. Have fun. Oh, die. You dead, son. Oh my gosh. I you know what? There's one thing I did do. While I was working this past week, I was actually watching the new Boba Fett stuff. And I must say, I am very unimpressed. It's not the worst thing in the world. It's definitely not something that I would recommend to most people. It's, in my opinion, that should be a drama. And instead they keep shoving action shit into it. Sorry, action stuff. It just doesn't really work for me. God darn it. Oh, run. Don't want to be there when the bees show up. There you go. There you go. Have some of that. Jeez. Oh my gosh. There we go. Okay, let's keep going. Let's keep looking for stuff. Oh my gosh. This was one of the more annoying parts of this level. 7 enzyme samples. Here we go. Oh, wait. Oh boy. Yeah, I probably need to go back and rewatch the episodes for the Boba Fett series. All I know is that as I was watching it, I was more and more unimpressed as the show went on. And the entire time I'm sitting there and I'm asking myself, like, why are we... Oops, wrong one. Why is needless action shots being put in here? Why aren't we discussing, like, the different players and the crime syndicates? Oh, and I remember one thing that kind of weirded me out was, like, why in the world were the Hutts not, like, bigger and more involved in all that? They waited until, like, they got introduced in the second episode, and then he immediately turned around and was like, nah, we're done. Like, why would you introduce them just to get rid of them? That seems like a really stupid idea in my opinion. Like, what on earth were you gaining from that? Next, like, what in the world is the plan for... Hold on. So anyway, so like the Hutts are supposed to be like the most cutthroat guys in the game, or cutthroat.
Oh.
Why do they wear those masks? Maybe there's a part of them that remembers how they used to be, how they used to look, and they're ashamed.
That's exactly right. They can't look themselves in the mirror. There's also a religious aspect to it as well. It's they constantly talk about how they need forgiveness and redemption, and they don't see that they're ever going to get it. So it's a kind of a hopeless endeavor as well. So not only is it a physical thing, but I think it's a spiritual thing they kind of talk about. Ah, crap. No. God darn it.
What is the most vicious obscenity ever perpetrated on mankind? Slavery. The Holocaust.
There we go. There we go. Let's go. Not that. Yeah, there's a religious aspect to this as well. And, but anyway, that's not what I want to talk about right now. I want to talk about the Boba Fett series, just because I'm just like, there's such a gold mine of cool stuff you could do with it, and instead they decided to make it into an action show. I mean, really, if I was gonna make Boba Fett into something, I wouldn't make Boba Fett, like, he'd be a big player, but he'd be the guy that doesn't have to move around much. Like, you know, there's the argument of, like, why doesn't the king on the chessboard, why does he only get one space? And it's like, because the king doesn't need to hustle, right? The king doesn't walk around and do stuff. He has people for that. That's what everybody else is for. He's the last man on the, like, he's gonna be the last person that moves around and does stuff. Why? Because he's in charge. Boba Fett being out in front definitely is something that he has to do. He has to reestablish an empire that was already put in place by Jabba the Hutt. But he's gotta have tons of people that are already there. So all he really has to do is go to those people and get them on the same page with him, right? Now, they eventually start this. Eventually. Oh, crap. But man, do they take their time getting to it. But they spend the rest of the time talking about crap that really we don't need to know about yet. Like, we can go through all this different stuff later. What we need is to know what is going to happen. What's the lay of the land? Who are the main enemies? Who are we going to have to take down? Like, we need to know all this stuff. And instead, all we got was just random crap that doesn't matter. And another thing, like, he's supposed to be a crime lord, but maybe he shouldn't be constantly calling himself a freaking crime lord. I guess it doesn't matter. The entire planet is just one giant, you know, scammer's den, but that's just me. There it is, this one, and then goes up, then this one can go that way, and that way, boom! Let's see here. I have money, it's just...
The children must remain
Oh, let's turn that up a little bit.
functional to be effective producers of atom. I had hoped we placed them into vegetative states so they would be more pliable. I find being around them very uncomfortable. Even with those things implanted in their bellies, they are still children. They play and sing. Sometimes they look at me, and they don't stop. Sometimes they smile.
So that's interesting. I didn't even notice this until just now. Because I've played through this game a couple times. If you've tuned in, you probably know this. It's one of my favorite games, but I've never really been able to play it aside from the one time I streamed it. And even then, I was still trying to figure out what my audio settings were going to be like. I never really noticed until just now that in some of these, there's background noise that is kind of out of place. Like in this one, Tannenbaum's actually got birds and stuff around her, right? Well, I don't know if anybody else could hear it, but I could hear it. And she had birds and stuff going around, and that was very interesting to me, because there are no birds around here. But you can tell where she was recording that, though. And, of course, how it gets here probably was she feels bad. Oh. Free stuff! Nope. Crap. No, don't do that. Yeah. Well, at least I got one of those. I was hoping to get two little security drones, but I guess not. That was not meant to be. Oh, let's definitely pull that towards us. There we go. Ah, the crossbow is going to be amazing when I get one.
I wore it for you, Father. It's what you like. Woe be unto you.
Oh, dead instantly. Jeez. Oh, hello.
I am a waste of time. Come on, you run! I'm his.
Yeah, come here, boy.
Do you have all the components for the Lazarus Vector yet? If you do, best head to a crafting station. Then, head back to Langford's lab and put the whole witch's brew in the mister.
Hey, Grim. Welcome to the group.
Right up.
We're gonna make some Lazarus Vector. Oh, not much. Just been talking about
From the sounds of that you invented,
Boba Fett again.
you were the proud papa of a brand new Lazarus Vector. Now drop the Vector into a gadget called a Central Misting Control. Then we'll be cooking with gas.
The problem with it, I know. Well, I know it's not. I know it's not the most amazing thing in the world to everybody, but it has, in my opinion, it has potential. The problem with it is the fact that that potential is, in my utter opinion, squandered. It tries so very hard to be something that it really shouldn't be. And as I was saying earlier, I was like, Boba Fett is essentially the king, right? The king should never be the one out and about doing stuff. He should be very much the person in the background. He should be doing the moving of other people, not moving himself. And instead, what we get is a king that's always in the field, which, again, he's got a small operation. He's got to put people together. Okay, fine. But, like, the show has this really weird problem where it just goes through and it doesn't actually give you a... Let's see. Let's reduce the kickback a little bit. Do machine gun or chemical thrower? Let's just stick with ballistics right now. I like ballistic weapons. Hello. Did not mean to do that, but alright. Uh-oh, we got another one. Let's zoom in a little bit. There we go. But yeah, so he ends up moving around a lot, which, okay, fine, no big deal. I mean, hey, you know, he's got a small group, he's got a small operation, but they don't ever bother to discuss said operation of people as to what they need to do or how they need to take care of this stuff or what's the strategy for solidifying the empire. They don't really talk about that at all. And I know it's boring because my generation has got this, you know, the attention span of a goldfish. But, I mean, it's kind of important to set up. Like, oh, hey, here's this thing going on. I'm just going to go around and pretend like everything is mine. Well, the problem with that is that it doesn't work. You can't do that. You can't just walk around and pretend like everything is yours and think that everything's going to be fine. You're going to have people that are going to fight back. And he does. As to be expected. Or as can be expected, I suppose I could say. And instead of us discussing, hey, who are the major players? Who do we got to worry about? Who are these people? Like, no, we don't talk about none of that stuff. That's ridiculous. That's just silliness. We got to wait till episode 2 or 3 to do that. Right.
Where the hell are you?
Isn't there another way out of here? Yeah. There's another way out of here. Okay, we're doing it this way. Yeah, come here. Ah, come on, get back in the water. Have you seen it, Grim? Do you watch Trike TV? Oh, come on! No, come on! Oh, come on! There we go. I picked up a wrench. Hooray! I have 2 wrenches, which means my wrench is now even more powerful. That's how that works, right? Yeah, and then kind of brushed up on about Microsoft buying Activision Blizzard. I can't say that. See, Star Wars used to have an interest for me, and so part of me, like, because I'm a fan from, like, my childhood, there's a part of me that still wants to see a good Star Wars thing be produced. But I know deep down I'm never going to get that. I think Star Wars was lightning in a bottle 3 times in a row, and that's asking for even more than what, you know, the average person deserves to get, so here we are. But yeah, no, I wouldn't say that the reason I watch this is for interest. It's more just like, alright, let's go see if I'm wrong, and then finding out that, in my opinion, I'm right. I know some people that would think it's really good, you know? I haven't met them yet, but, I mean, I'll find them. As a matter of fact, I prefer to talk to people like that, because I want to know what they see that I don't see. You know, because, like, there's some things that I don't enjoy, and then, you know, somebody shows me, well, did you see this, or did you do that, or did you think about this? Then I'll actually, you know, go back and go, okay, hold on, maybe I missed something, right? Maybe there's something going on that I didn't see. And, I appreciate that.
What's that, fella?
And there's some people that have changed their mind. Once I see something else, I think, okay, well, maybe it's not that bad. I like it now. Now that I know that this is there, or this was taken care of, or the thing that I was so worried about, you know, or that bothered me was actually not an issue. Oh, did I just kill you with a dead body? That's awesome. Oh, God, I love that. I don't know why I don't use that so often. Alright, let's take a picture of our pretty little girl here. Oh, no, I'm already done. Never mind. Alright, so let's see if we can pick ourselves up a, Go on. No. There we go. So you're going downstairs. No, go downstairs, go downstairs, go downstairs. I'm going to have you die via security camera, not by me fighting you. I'm not going to actually fight you. That's just stupid. So how was your day today, Grim? Anything crazy fancy happen? Aside from walking around your super fancy, awesome location that you live in? Oh, god dang it. I love that, just spews wine. Yes! Yes! Please just don't. Ice storm. Ice storm. What are those? That sounds like some shenanigans up there.
What? Here it is!
Come here. You're dead, sir. What's crazy is I could actually take this guy on head. I could take the bouncer head on or the Rosie head on. I just don't want to. Why would I want to spend all that ammunition? Oh, here it goes. Gonna rescue the baby. And by the way, if it was an ice storm, I would assume that your day is pretty chill.
You saved me.
I did. More so rain than a temp drop to the point where everything, yeah. See, this is why I don't do well in cold places. I don't do well in cold places. It makes me cold, and I don't like that. I prefer the nice,
Oh, I'm ready.
ungodly heat. I'm a heat person, not a cold person. And everybody else I know is like, I like it when it gets cold. And I'm like, you're insane. Why would you like the cold? The cold is awful.
I'll do what you said. I'll do what you
I mean, I hope I do. I mean, I do try to be entertaining at least sometimes.
I will execute
You didn't hear Jack.
judgment upon thee.
Bam!
Unclean. Coward.
Oh, what's the wrong thing? Bam!
Hail Mary.
Bam! Yeah, no. I'm not a cold climate kind of guy. I need heat. I need lots and lots of heat.
Rapture's gone to hell.
Well, it has, but that was y'all's fault. So where are we going? I need to go up. Oh, hello, Mr. Robot. You're still here. So I was wondering where you went.
I traded for Lord.
Yeah, wow, that sucks.
And what?
Oh, you know what? It's probably because they got cancers from all them tumors. All those lovely tumors. That's what happens whenever you take too much, or actually any atom, really. Although they don't really specify what kind of damage you do to yourself. They just tell you that it does damage to you.
I do what I'm told. I just do what I'm told. I always do what I'm told.
God, I love the background noise in this game. Just them just talking about how miserable they are. And how unhappy they are. That chick's just hanging around. Oh man, this is one of my favorite games of all time, dude. Oh man, I love talking about this game. I love telling people to buy it and play it. It's one of the few games that I will openly advocate for nonstop, because this game is on many levels in my opinion, almost perfection. There are story problems, like there are in every game, but for content, for the, what do you want to call it? The atmosphere, the game design, the level design. I mean, I love looking out these windows. It doesn't matter how old this game gets. Doesn't matter how old I get. I love looking out and just looking at Rapture. And every time I do, I just want to see more. Right? Like, I'm not an MMO guy, but if they had an MMO for Bioshock, I would for Rapture, I would totally be a sucker for that, because I love this world. Yeah, just recently, actually just a second ago, I was playing it, and we got into a conversation with that. I guess conversation is not the right word. Atlas was talking to us, and he was saying like, why do they wear the masks? You know? Oh hell yeah! I usually don't do that, but yeah, you can do that. Oh, we got ourselves a live one. Where'd you go? I saw the little flower things. But yeah, so the masks real quick. So, the issue with the masks is twofold. It's religious and physical, right? They wear the masks because they're ashamed of what they look like, because now they look hideous, as you can see. But it's also a religious thing. And you know, you could argue that but it's also like kind of a New Year's thing, because if you remember, the game is set during the New Year, and that's also true. That's very true. It's very fair. However, the entire time the game is playing, oh hello, I'm already done. There you go, buddy. I'm glad we had that talk. All their masks are pagan. They're all pagan symbols, right? There's very, very few just regular masks. They're mostly birds, butterflies, and I think there's like one or two others. And so, you know, on the surface, they're just masks, right? There's nothing really impressive or interesting about them, except for they're all like fertility gods, or signs of fertility and things like that. It changes a few things. Let's see here. Eve Saver. But yeah, one other thing they do is that, let's see, do I need engineering or combat tonic? I want another combat tonic slot. There we go. One of the things they also got another way to do is if you just kind of sit and listen, they actually talk very much about, like, their state spiritually. Like, they're all begging for forgiveness, right? And if you want to think of Rapture as kind of an Eden, which is what they were designing it to be, this would be Eden after it falls. Not the bees! Not the bees! Yes, exactly. Oh, there's gonna be bees. Oh my gosh, dude! Like, I recently rewatched the Mummy, the Mummy. There we go. And there was a section. It really can be, but it borrows heavily from, well, multiple things. But it borrows very, very heavily from objectivism and basically utopianism in general, really. And the whole purpose of it is well, I'll say the whole purpose. The whole purpose of it is really, from what I can gather, is just the depravity of mankind. Because we like to think that, or people like to think, oh, it's Adam that drove people nuts. Like, no, people were already this way. It's just, this just brought out the worst in people. Oh, god dang it, I just trapped myself. And so that's one of the things I really appreciated about it. And I've heard 1,000 different reviews on this. I've heard a lot of people's different hot takes for it, and I just trapped myself again, didn't I? Oh, maybe not, maybe not, maybe not, maybe not. Where's a straight up one? Nope. This way. Oh, god dang it! Oh, for the love of... Okay, that's the end of that. Auto hack that. There we go. Pick up that.
The Little Sisters Orphanage. In troubled times.
Anyway, so... Sorry, I'm playing and doing this stuff. Distract me sometimes.
After all, children are the future of
Children are the future. Oh, there's another one.
Observe all his commandments.
One of the children came and sat in my lap. I push her off. I shout, "Get away from me!" I can see the Adam oozing out of the corner of her mouth. It's thick and green. Her filthy hair hanging in her face, dirty clothes, and that dead glow in her eye. I feel hatred, like I never felt before. In my chest, bitter, burning fury. I can barely breathe. And suddenly I know. It is not this child I hate.
But yeah, no, so one of the things that I really appreciated about this is that they put a lot of effort into the background noise, right? So like, if you just listen. Let's see if we can get one of them to come close to me. There he is. There he is. There we go. They'll talk.
Sorry, Father. I'll do what you say. I'll do what you say.
So they have this very, very, well, this works-based kind of idea. Which, again, and, well, let me back up. Jared, I don't think you, were you ever, I don't think you ever watched me play it the original time. I went through like a really in-depth analysis of the different levels of what's going on.
I just want to go to sleep. Just want to go to sleep.
On my walk today, I had my first encounter with a pair of them. He, a lumbering palooka in a foul-smelling diving suit, and she, an unwashed moppet in a filthy pink smock. Her pallor was off, green and morbid. And there was a rather unpleasant aspect to her demeanor, as if she were in an altogether different place than the rest of us. I understand the need for such creatures. I just wish they could make them more presentable.
But yeah, so this game takes a lot of religious stuff as well and puts it in the background. So in one of the respects is you can assume that religion is essentially, look, if it's not outright banned, I don't think they ever say they outright ban it, but they definitely discourage it because Andrew Ryan sees it as a weakness, right? Now, that part's not too much of a problem, except for the fact that the game acknowledges that people can't handle that. Like, you can't remove people's faith. You just can't. And it doesn't matter how hard you try, it doesn't matter how hard you try to annihilate it. Like, you can't have a society built on nothing, morally speaking. And essentially, that's what the game kind of discusses, is not directly, but it does talk about it. Not that I'm here to tell you what it is, but the idea that you could actually get rid of it from a society is impossible. And so, very soon after Rapture starts, there's a smuggling ring that only smuggles in Bibles and crucifixes and things like that that are unsavory to the people of Rapture. So it just creates this nice little dynamic, and because of the environment that Rapture creates, or created by Andrew Ryan. Let's see if I'll do something. If you notice, they all actually... Yes, they kill somebody who's smuggling Bibles in for Atlas. But it's not because he was smuggling stuff in that he was killed. It's because he's a member of Atlas's crew. Atlas was feeding off other people's needs. He's a con man. I love this. This is just so cool. I mean, it's completely unnecessary, but it's so cool. I mean, you could never have a tree growing at the bottom of the ocean like this, but that's just... It's just a cool aesthetic, right? But yeah, they did kill one guy, but it's because he worked for... Oh, sorry, not Alice. He worked for Fontaine. Sorry. Same person, but whatever. But yeah, there's lots of depth to this game that I'm not even sure that the developers really knew what they were doing when they made it. Yeah, they are the same.
Don't fight the inevitable.
Oh, this is my favorite. This is why I love this little thing that I have. I just stand.
Just go to sleep.
See, this is why I love this little invisibility perk that I have. Just stand around, do nothing. What was I saying again? I forgot what I was saying. Oh my god! I forgot what I was saying. But yeah, so the fact that everybody in Rapture essentially, or everybody who's left, is essentially begging God for forgiveness, but they also have this very childish idea of what that means, is very interesting, and it does feed into the greater narrative, you know. So I don't know if we found out yet, but essentially, the ideas or the ideals of Andrew Ryan are put to the test eventually, or you know, whenever Fontaine shows up, and he starts pumping pheromones into the actual like through the city in order to make people more compliant and on his side, right? And because of that, it has some side effects, and one of them is, of course, the lack of free will makes them more childlike. You know, there's a lot of different layers of that, but the removal of free will, or at least part of it, or sorry, it's the very strong suggestion. I won't say it's the removal of free will. That's not entirely true. In my understanding was to make them, it makes them more like children. When it makes them more like children, they do childish things. They have very childish logic, and they're not thinking things through the way that an adult would. Partially. Now, that's one way I've seen it. It could be also another way where it's just that they're so depraved and just so unhappy that it could very well be a scenario where they just want the pain of what they have to go through just to stop. Because they walk around, they sing songs, they say what they've done in order to kind of redeem themselves, and of course, like I mean, I'm not sure, I'm not like a theologian by any chance, but I don't think that you can work your way into salvation, which is kind of the whole point of the salvation part. I mean, I'm not a theologian, I'm not like a pastor or a priest, but that was my understanding. Ah, jeez. It's a good sound. That nice crack. But yeah, no, so they're constantly talking about the things that they do. They're constantly talking about, hey, I'm trying to appease you, I'm doing your... Oh, well, there you go, see? I guess whenever you know the right denomination, you're good. What's the cost for a ticket to heaven? I'm just curious. I don't know. It just seems a little bit weird that you can buy your way to heaven. I don't know. Let's see here.
Oh, he'll love this. Just a... That won't work!
I need the extra sports boost. It's very pricey. Oh my god. There you go.
Listen to that damn thing gurgle and crank. How long is it gonna take?
It seems Julie's death didn't listen to you. Perhaps this...
Well, you said you're Catholic. You didn't say you were a priest. Oh my gosh. See, I've only known a few different people to be Catholic, and usually they're if they're born into it. If they're born into it, they usually are a bit disillusioned by it. If they're converts, they're usually a little bit more, let me say a little bit more, they're a lot more open to it. Like, they're very much into it. That's just my experience. I have no idea if that carries through for many people. Yeah, boys. See, I'm gonna let the actual defenses do their job.
What are you waiting for, Boyle?
Oh, okay, yeah, that's right. I have to go all the way here.
Get the lab entrance sealed.
Nah, it's fine. I'll take them all on.
I sent you a wee package through the pneumo. It's not much, but every little bit counts.
So there you go. I called it. I called it. See, I've known a few people that if they're born Catholic, they're like, yeah, I'm Catholic. And they're like, I identify as Catholic essentially, but they don't really actually follow it very closely. But the converts that I've known have been like hardcore converts. Like they are hardcore into it, and that's fine. I'm not you know, downing anybody for getting into what they believe in. Absolutely not. But it's very, very interesting that it's kind of one of those weird things, you know. Like, what do the converts see that that the natural born ones don't, right? Because they can have really good Catholic parents and then just not really. Yeah, come here. Ooh, what is that? I don't think it ever. If I've ever needed. Oh, absolutely. Run away! Well, yeah, but I mean, hopefully that's every church, right? Like, you'd want that for every church. But yeah, well, or any group, really. You want people to feel that they belong. I mean, you know, if you start something and you try to otherize a bunch of people, I mean, you know, of course, I mean, any faith is exclusive, like, right? And this is something that I don't know why people don't understand this today. But yeah, like, any organization, any group, any idea is going to be exclusive to somebody. It's going to exclude somebody eventually because it's not meant for them. You know? And that's where the community comes from. Not anyone can just join a community. You know, like, I mean, for my channel, like, if you start talking lots of really horrible things, I'm gonna kick you out. That depends. So, I've listened to what the Westboro people believe. I've actually listened to multiple, I've listened to some of their tenets, and it's not that they are anything out of the ordinary in what they believe. It's just that they're adamant in believing it, right? Like, and honestly, like, I mean, if you, I hate to be the one that has to defend people, but they are purposefully shown in a very bad light. Not that everything they say is right, but they tend to be overly ostracized and misrepresented, while at the same time also not being very good at what they are saying.
Where are you going?
Because most of the time when you hear about them, it's just like they're just like a bunch of inbred crazies, and it's like, okay, this isn't true. And then whenever you actually listen to the way they talk, they actually, once they're in like a one-on-one scenario, they actually are much better at stating what they were trying to say. It's a bit weird. Not that I want to actually defend much of anything they say, but it's just... I just genuinely don't believe what most people say in regards to other organizations or groups, so I'll just listen to what they have to say, and then I'll make up my own mind. But yes, you are correct. They are very exclusive, but they're not exclusive in a way that most people think they are. I guess that was my point. Someone just hit me? No? You are bleeding. Bleed some more. So yeah, no. Not I said not to be the defender of the Westboro Baptist Church, but like they are at the same, as much as they are misrepresented, they are also not very good at what they're trying to say. No. See, I'm the exact opposite. I'll fight you over anything. I like to be the... See, whenever I was in school, I like to be the guy that was always arguing with everybody. It's more fun that way. I mean, don't get me wrong. I didn't make that many friends with that idea, but hell, you know what? I was happy. I'd sit there the entire time and start challenging people on whatever they want, whatever I thought was funny. My personal favorite is whenever I would sit up there and we'd read stories, and we're supposed to like analyze them as a class, and they're obviously supposed to be analyzed in a way that's like, oh, you know, racism bad. And I'm like, okay, well, that's an easy one. That's obviously what the author was going for. Let's see if I can make this into something really nasty. And like one of them was, okay, I forget what it was. I forget what the story's name was, but essentially it was a about a black family who was like coming together, right? But like they do bring up slavery in it, and I thought, okay, this is perfect. And the family was broken and separated, the whole 9 yards, and man, I was such a dick. This is such a dick when I did this, but I had to give up my version of the story, and I said, well, this was actually a critique on freedom, and they all looked at me like I was insane. I said, no, hear me out. See, here's the thing. This entire thing doesn't happen except for when, like, the only reason they're here is because slavery was abolished, right? Their family's broken because slavery was abolished. This is all done because slavery was abolished. The issue here is that they're actually a pro-slavery. And so I gave my report, and I just sat there and I read it off, and I sit back down. My girlfriend at the time, who was not white, she looked at me like, "The f is wrong with you?" And I was like, "That was really funny." Oh man, it was probably one of the funniest things I ever had to do, and because of the way my professors were, they simply had to smile and nod, and that was the part that was the funniest. They couldn't tell me that this was obviously me being a dick. Oh, no. See, I went out of my way to make sure that if you espouse something that I either agreed with or thought was incorrect or whatever, I'm sorry, didn't agree with or thought was incorrect, or maybe, you know, I wanted to see if you actually did. I would start poking at it and see what you did. Because here's the thing. I remember when I wrote it out, I actually supplied tons of evidence and references in the story. What up, fucker? I actually supplied tons of references when I wrote it, and the thing is that they couldn't really argue the points. They were just outraged that I said it, right? And I was like, cool, this is a place of learning and intellectualism and education. Prove me wrong based on what I am saying, based on the story that we all read. If I am incorrect, I am willing to, you know, oh crap. I am willing to change my opinion. Until then, I assume that my version is correct because I have brought more sources and references to the table than you have, and you can't seem to find a way to fight them. Well, that was the point, is that I was really just kind of pissing with people just to see what I could get. And I was very surprised that, like, no one could come up with an answer. And here's the thing. I had actually gone through and actually, like, looked at my own arguments, tried to find things, and the sad part is that based on what I was saying, I was like, I really can't find much of a defense against what I'm saying, but there's not much of an offense either. I'm providing just enough evidence while, like, there not being enough story to really be able to tell if that's for sure or not. But it was hilarious to me because all it was me just pissing in their faces because this is supposed to be a highly intellectual class, and it was just garbage. And because my teacher was like, he was it's fun being devil's advocate, but sometimes you need to work harder to come up with a decent argument and destroy your permanent. Yeah, exactly. You want to know, you want to be really good at your own arguments. Be good at your opponents. Absolutely, that's exactly how that works. What the hell? You know your argument inside and out, and also know your opponent's argument inside and out. Oh yeah, no, we're talking about how I was kind of pissing in the wind in one of my college classes. I basically made an argument for there was supposed to be a anti-slavery, like pro, like it was supposed to show like life after, like, what was it, the 50s? It was the 50s or something like that, and it was supposed to be about how like how families or different families had broken down and whatnot, and my response to that was, yeah, this is a indictment on freedom and how slavery was actually a good thing. Had slavery not ended, this family would never have been broken up. It would have been forcibly kept where it is. You know, I had no real evidence for that argument, but nobody ever brought it up. They just assumed that I was, you know, they were just so appalled by what I was saying, they couldn't argue it, which I thought was hilarious. Because I was like, y'all don't know how to think. Y'all been taught you've been told what to say, oh, here's story about black family. Black family must be oppressed. Okay, here we go. And so when I said that, they all just were like, what is this? And I go, this is a critique. This is an analysis. Challenge me. And they never actually brought anything up other than, I don't like what you just said. And I was like, that's great. I'm glad that you don't like it. Prove to me that what I just said is wrong. Most of the time I would just find out what they, or what my opponents likely say, try to come up with the cons for it. Yeah, no, I absolutely. I mean, I've taken debate, I've taken speech, I've taken creative writing. I mean, I've done a bunch of different things, and I mean, I've really enjoyed it while at the same time hating it, because it just kind of exposed me to stuff that I really didn't like, but I got really decent at arguing, and I do like to argue most of the time. I also try to keep it civil, which is sometimes easier said than done. But you know, I think it's important to know your opponent's argument. It's important to know when you can poke fun at something, and it's also important to know that it's well, first off, it's okay to lose an argument, right?
Oh, sugar.
Hello.
I'm spliced up in ways you never dreamed of.
Get over
Well, you know, here's the thing. So there's an argument to be made for that.
What a night I got lined up. Everything's ready. Flowers, bottle of wine, even 2 tickets to the tea garden. Nothing gets the Bettys in the mood like nighttime in Arcadia. Now I just gotta stop by the Thrifty Care to pick up a med hypo, just to be safe. Word is, this ain't Angelina's first visit to the tea garden.
Well, I mean, here's the thing. Just because you've lost an argument doesn't mean you've lost, you know, just because you've lost a fight doesn't mean you lost the war, right? And that's something that people need to learn. So, it's okay to lose an argument. It's not okay to lose an argument if you have no idea what you're talking about. See, that's not okay. No, see, that's losing a battle. whenever the war hinges on it, and you made really stupid decisions up until then, like using your infrastructure to transport people to slaughterhouses rather than actually transporting, you know, weapons and materials and stuff. But that's a different story. I forgot, where am I going? Where am I going? Yeah, no, being okay with losing an argument is kind of it's an art form, being okay with losing an argument. You have to have a specific mindset for it. You can't get involved emotionally into what you're talking about, right? That's probably the most important thing you can do. Now, not everybody's great at it.
Why are you so resistant to the traditional methods of separating a man from his soul? You're not CIA, are you? You belong to Atlas. The one roach I can't seem to exterminate. Don't worry. I just need time to find the proper poison.
Well, I would say that not caring, if you're gonna do that, then you have to have him. Oh,
I believe in no God, no invisible man in the sky. But there is something more powerful than each of us. A combination of our efforts. A great chain of industry that unites us. But it is only when we struggle in our own interest that the chain pulls society in the right direction. The chain is too powerful and too mysterious for any government to guide. Any man who tells you different either has his hand in your pocket or a pistol to your neck.
I like how Andrew Ryan, in one sentence, says, "I don't believe in God. But here's this thing," and it acts very similarly to God. Fort Frolic. Here we go. But yeah, no, so also having a good faith argument is important, and also being able to know when you are arguing with someone who's listening to you and when you are arguing with someone so other people around you listen. That's something that I found out a long time ago.
Ryan is up on ahead. Ryan's handed the keys to
Boom!
over to a guy named Sander Cohen.
Goy.
Cohen's an artist, says some. He's a Section 8, says I. I've seen all kinds of cutthroats, freaks, and
So usually if you're arguing with somebody who's invested in their ideas, like really invested, it's harder to reason them out of that position. They need something more than your conversation. They need a genuine life-altering experience, usually. By the age of, like, what, 25, most people's prejudices and ideas have already been solidified. By age 18, most of those prejudices, if you want to call them that, or ideas, they may not be solidified, but they're pretty strong. Now, they may genuinely or generally shift over time, but for the most part, they stay where they are. That's what I have seen, that's what I've read, and I think for the most part that is correct. It requires not an act of God, but like an act of trauma, I would say, to change that. They need to have what I would say a come to Jesus moment. Oh, really? And it genuinely depends upon what that's going to look like, right? Like, I know a buddy of mine, his wake-up call, a little bit, has been COVID. Like, he and I would have different conversations, and it would make a lot of people around us very uncomfortable when we worked together. That's all right. That's all right, fucker. The reason why I try to not say anything about myself, so I'll say maybe two giving away, is because I know there's people that watch me that hate my guts. There's that one guy on Twitter that stalks the crap out of me. He occasionally DMs me every now and again to tell me how much he hates me. And I kind of just ignore him. Look at that. A bloody rabbit. That's right, cats, bunnies,
that's better.
Butterflies.
Atlas Ryan. Atlas Ryan. Da 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 da. Time was, you could get something decent on the radio. The artist has a duty to seduce the ear and delight the spirit. So say goodbye to those two blowhards, and hello to an evening with Sander Cohen.
Nice.
No, I haven't seen a sign of real life down here in months. Let's see if you're just another Johnny-come-lately. Maybe something more delicious.
There we go. There we go. Come here, sweetie. Come here, you.
Call the cops. You're only making this hard for us, boss.
Nicely done. Where did you study?
I studied at a range. I've been killing random NPCs for years.
Sorry. Let me try again.
Ooh.
Stop ogling me.
Yeah, so what I've usually found is that if you're arguing against somebody who's like actually invested in some idea, whether it be politics or even just general stuff, like people usually have their ideas and they're married to them, and so of course discussing them is kind of a double-edged sword. You know, you can't really.
The malt vinegar in this one. I've waited so long.
I like that. So, I just want to tell you about his Lord and Savior, Captain Hook. That was good. Well, sir, tick-tock, tick-tock. Allow me to tell you about the devil, the crocodile.
At the Fleet Hall.
Oh, come on. See, as much as I want to talk myself, because I enjoy hearing my own voice, not because I'm narcissistic at all. Oh, for the love of God, really? Yeah, I didn't think I was getting that. Oops. Well, whatever. That's right. Is it Rufy? Oh no, sorry. Yeah, his name is well.
For jamming the transmissions of those boors, Atlas and Ryan. Let them have their squabble. The artist, yes, the artist knows there is richer
Look at that.
earth to till.
Look at that. See? More friggin'
For example, I test
alliteration.
you,
Count Chocula.
but for a reason. I test all my disciples. Some shine like galaxies, and
I don't know. I mean, depends. I mean, I don't think Captain Hook was the good guy. Oh, for the love of God.
Come now, into my home.
See, the only way that would work, though, is if Captain Hook was the good guy, right? I don't know. This is a weird analogy. It's breaking down really quickly. I can't keep up. Oh, I mean, in that case, the Jesus is the Antichrist of the devil.
Stood up again. Second time this week. Ever since my face was... Well, Steinman worked on me, but it was never the same since the blast. Being alone so much gives a girl time to think. Who could hate me so much they'd ruin me like this? What did I do to them? You know, I keep thinking of all them bandits and terrorists, Ryan's
Oh no, the best villains don't ever see themselves as the bad guy.
Sometimes I can hardly breathe. If I could only confront them, tell them what they did to me, how they're ruining everything for me, for Rapture, maybe I'd feel better.
Yeah, a good villain, you know, in real or imaginary, a good villain never sees himself as the bad guy. He sees himself as the tragic hero. The person that has to sacrifice everything, including their soul, in order to do something that is good for the world. Like the idea that I think in Hero, as a Chinese movie that was really popular, I forget when, where the villain of the entire story is built up, and the hero of the story goes and meets him and is going to kill him. But the emperor is this guy who's taking over all of China, right? And his whole thing is that he's going to bring peace to China by uniting it under his iron-fisted rule. And he would put an end to all the internecine warfare of the different clans and things of that. And the hero actually gives up that power. Like, the hero actually has an opportunity to kill him, and he doesn't take it. And it's because he agrees with that mentality. It's the I'm going to give up my, say not my fight, but whatever. Oh my God, the tricks rabbit. Oh my God, what are we doing here? What is going on? See, I don't know why, but I think the first time I watched this, I've walked by this 1,000 times. It wasn't until my last playthrough that I actually got this. Surprise. Games of Chance. I don't know why that never occurred to me. I've walked by that, I've read it 1,000 times and never actually gotten the joke, and then I got the joke. It only took me like 12 playthroughs to actually see it. But, yeah, no. Felix! Hi, Felix. Come here. Come here. Say hi. Say hi, Felix. Say hi. Felix. Felix. No, he's like, Daddy, it's too late, man. I don't want to do that. Oh, whoa, whoa, whoa. He says, meow! No, Daddy, no! I don't want to say hi! I'm not some toy! It's like, yes, you are. You're just a toy, kitty cat. Here we go. Which part was the joke? I don't even know. I go through little things every now and again, then I don't even remember what I was saying. And this is something that I actually intended to talk about, like the Activision purchase of, Come here, you. Hey, look, don't tell me something my parents already tell me all the time. If my life is a joke, would I find it so funny? Yes, I would. Hey, you know, have I ever told you the story, the reason why I went to college? Because I may have been an AB student, but I definitely did not give a crap about school. I need faster swings, faster movement, and more damage. Allegro. Also, he's saying Allegro wrong, but whatever. I can't say it. You have to like roll your R's, I think. Can I jump?
Presto, presto! No, no!
I'm trying. Please. Again, young Fitzpatrick.
I love this actually. Like it's first off, who has a bunch of explosives in a confined environment, pressurized underwater? It doesn't matter.
You sick fuck, let me out of there!
It doesn't matter how you do this. An explosion in a contained environment, underwater, already pressurized. Oh my god.
The burden of the artist is to capture.
And now you've got Fitzpatrick caught in his moment of glory. It seems you've got the eye of the shutterbug, little.
I like how it's just a charred corpse.
Head to the atrium and place his photograph in my masterpiece.
Exactly. An artist does not care about your freaking logic. They care about their work. Not gonna lie though, I've known a lot. So, in my experience, artists come in two forms: very friggin' weird, and very freaking down to earth. And I don't know which ones I prefer. I think the down to earth ones, but sometimes the down to earth ones are a bit of a downer. I don't know. It's not just a burned corpse; it's a work of art. That sounds exactly like an artist. That is quite literally like what some artists are like. Let's see here. There's one. Oh, crap. That's not gonna work. No, you're a towel. Oh my gosh.
I know why you've come, little moth.
Are we all just burned corpses ready to be? I don't know. I don't feel very charred yet, so maybe. I don't know. Maybe one day. Oh, okay, so game, are you going to let me actually do this? Imagine, just look at this. Look at it. Slashed the throats of everybody and then put them in plaster Paris.
Hurry now. My muse is a fickle bitch with a very short attention span.
I mean, how weird is that?
Do you see it? When I am dust.
Oh, they also all look like
this
Sandra
is what
Cohen.
they'll point to.
my quad tick. My masterpiece.
I just think of this.
Go ahead. Don't be afraid. Touch it.
I look at this and I just go, imagine, like, you know, let's say 50 years from now, this guy's dead, right? And, like, there's no one around except for psychotic splicers and whatever's left down here, and this thing is just still sitting here. Who is they that you're talking about, dude? Who is this ominous they?
Yes, and there's Fitzpatrick, freed of his own kingdom.
Yes. The ultimate weapon in this game.
This is just the moment of conception. Out in this place, there are 3 men, all former disciples of mine, all connected by a common thread: betrayal. Find them.
So how did Fitzpatrick betray you? We never learned that.
Immortalize their mortality in my quad tick. Go. Once they've been sent to their reward, you shall go to yours. And
I love this, like, architecture they just went through. It's great. If I ever become horrendously wealthy, like to the point where if I ever somehow become Jeff Bezos wealthy, this will exactly. I'll have statues like that just lining my entranceway, like overtly just overt. See, that is a proper response. I can't begrudge you for that. See, I actually rather enjoy Sander Cohen. He's insane. I think he's a great character. I think the first time I played this game, I was just so enamored with him. I need a
can see your
breath. I would say some are better than others. Andrew Ryan is absolutely fantastic. Steinman is probably my favorite, just because he is the one that you get a complete and utter breakdown for, and they don't really do that with the rest of them. At least not in the same way.
You gotta finish me in here, you old fruit. You're the saps you tossed in this meat locker. I'll panic like a rabbit. I just watched and waited, and when they started to kick, I started to scavenge. Made myself a little splicer cocktail, I did. You can't come in from the cold, and you gotta grow ice over your heart. And the Iceman cometh, Sander, baby. The Iceman fucking cometh.
Oh, do y'all know the history of the Iceman? The actual the man they called the Iceman?
Guess the old grape finally sent someone.
Jeez.
Son of a bitch.
Oh, apparently it's raining outside. Holy crap.
I've got a pose all picked out
Just,
for you.
all of a sudden there was like a really, like, my house shook. I was like, what the hell was that? It's like, what the hell was that? Then I heard rain and I was like, oh, okay. Maybe one day I'll actually tell the whole story of the Iceman. It's a great story.
That was bracing. Take a photo of him and place it in the quad tick. I'm feeling full, like an expectant mama.
So you have morning sickness? Leave your foes out in the field. You take less damage cold, they can freeze enemies when you hit them with a wrench. Yes, this is what I want. Jeez, can y'all hear that? Like, please tell me y'all can hear that. That's insane. It's getting loud outside. Alright, I need to take a picture of him. Oh yeah, no, this guy is... Well,
Yes.
first off, he is a
Now,
sexual
put the
deviant.
picture in the frame. Let's see what we've got here.
I'm sitting here just like, dude.
Don't you want to take a walk?
Did I hit one? I don't even know.